How are you? How are you doing? I hope you've been fine. It has been a minute, but I am back. So, today I want us to talk about facing our fears. And since it's the end of the year, you could use these as your startup for next year. Most of the time we are limited because tuna fear to move on, or we fear experiencing new things or making new decisions or something like that. So somebody said that a brave man is not the one who is not afraid, but one who is able to overcome their fears. So at the end of the day, you have to make it or to make that decision that you will no longer be afraid. You'll take a step and make that difficult decision, or that decision that you fear making, or taking that step that you fear the most in the coming year. Imagine you have to confront your fears. You have to come face to face with them. At some point, you'll have to make a decision, because if you fear making something, you will live an unhappy and an unfulfilled life. For example, if you're in that job and you fear making a decision of coming out or looking for a better job, the one that gives you fulfillment, imagine you'll never enjoy. So all of your days ukiamka throughout the year, you'll be an unhappy person. And that energy, you will transfer it to the people who are close to you, even to yourself. You'll never be happy. And imagine, it's your responsibility to give yourself happiness. So you have to make a decision coming next year to overcome that fear. Is it an abusive marriage that you've been fearing to come out from? Imagine you have to make that tough decision. You have to confront, come face to face with that fear. Okay? You have to come up with goals and act on them. Imagine if you just have thoughts or ideas in your mind and you're not working on them, ziko tu useless. Like, you and the person who's not acting on them, you're the same. So hata heri usikuwe na hizo ideas uanze kufanto na vitu zingine, because if you have ideas and you're not acting on them because of fear, they are useless. Imagine you have to overcome your fear. Yeah. You think that penye unafanya kazi, if you leave that place, you'll not survive. Of course, I'm not saying that you come out without a plan. You must have a plan first. Yeah? Usiache kazi tu kimalamala ati then the following day or the following week unalala tu the whole day kwa your house. Bills have to be paid, and the responsibilities zenye uko nazo. So if you have a plan and you feel kabisa, I would be happy in this place, or if I make this decision, I'll be happy. Able overcome that fear. If you keep staying at that particular place, itakuwa tu ni kama comfort zone. You'll not even realize or explore what is out there. You have to explore. Yeah? So do that. And how do you overcome your fear? Number one, it's by making the decision that by this starting next year, I'll do that thing yenye huwa naogopa. Kuna ile tu serious decision yenye umekuwa ukikuwa afraid to make, kutoka marriage, kutoka hiyo kazi yenye inakubo, cut off those toxic friends. Imagine just take that step. Hata our friends pia, by the way, some of us we fear, like sasa nikiacha hii kazi, watu watasema aje? Yeah, if I get off this marriage, watu watasema aje? If I cut off these friends, nitabaki na akina nani? That is fear speaking to you. So you have to make a decision. Like lazima mwaka ninaanza ikiwa fresh. Like the whole of this year, for example, if you take accounts, you've just been having that idea in your head. So just take account, ujiulize, take stock. Nimekuwa nikiogopa hizi vitu zote, nimejisaidia na nini? What step have I made? And most of the time utaona fear imefanya ukue backwards, like you're not progressing in anything. But the moment you overcome that, imagine you'll build even your confidence. You'll be a bold person. You'll be fulfilled in whatever you want. Like unafia kukat off these people, the whole of that year wamefanya nini? Aside from draining you, aside from bringing negative vibes around you, but able try cutting them off this year. Hata ujiposema unaifanya, it's like a piloting program uko nayo. Like all those fears zenye umekuwa nazo uzi overcome. Uko na hiyo idea umekuwa ukitaka kuimplement. Ebu i-pilot. Tuseme takatu ni January peke yake. And you see how things will go. Yeah? Living that toxic marriage, yenye unachapa nini, uko there for your kids. Imagine you can make it outside there. Si lazima you depend on that man. You can take a bold step and uanze tu kazi fulani. Si lazima ati umetoka au lazima uemploye kwa ofisi ndio you make it. Hapana. You can start with the manual jobs. Unajua, are you fearing kutoka hiyo kazi like unaona mimi nikitoka sasa nimeisha? And so I've said you gain confidence, yeah, with the new experiences and your experience or whatever you have got. I'm sure in the past there's something that you did. One time you decided to overcome your fear and at the end it can work out for good. So you take the same risk. You have the history, like it worked. You're a conqueror. The things that you faced and then you overcame. That should be a motivation for you to make these decisions and uko afraid to make. Imagine. Because if that time you conquered, why not this time? I know you're fearing what will happen, and most of the time what tukiogopa tunakwanga na the negatives, like we don't see the positives, like maybe nikiacha hii kazi maybe I'll be happy, I'll be earning more or something like that. We only focus on the negative guy. Sasa nikiwacha hii kazi nitakuwa nakula nini, nitakuwa bills zitakuwa zikilipwa na nani, but I've said you have to make a decision to be in that uncomfortable situation, to make those uncomfortable decisions, because at some point in life unaweza pata hata unaogopa kutoka alafu mtu tu akwende, the office politics na ufutwe kazi. What will you do? Unajua, that's why I'm saying you have to be bold enough to take that step. I know it is difficult. I know inakumeku kwe afraid of what will happen, but imagine take that step. Ebu face your fears. Unajua, I know unadhani hapo ndio alpha and omega of you, but imagine there are better things out there. There are better things. Ni vile tumejicondition tu kwa life, hii tu ndio kazi yenye naweza fanya. Yet you're not happy. Unajua, you have to do this to survive. Yet unafanya vitu zenye hata wewe mwenyewe uko uncomfortable with. Hata huwezi taka watu wajue. Some of your friends are just tolerating them because you can't just make that decision of cutting them off. If they're not bringing any value in your life, why are you entertaining them? Why are you giving and you're not receiving? Unajua, it's a two-way thing. Why are you going to that work na unajua your boss ana kunyanyasa? You're not getting rightfully what you should get. You have a business idea, but you're afraid of implementing it. There are people out there when you only take this, even read these motivational books. Kuna watu wenye wali implement to the idea they had. They just made that decision. They just made an uncomfortable decision. It's not a comfortable one, by the way. And utakuwa na fears mingi sana. Na watu, by the way, watakukataza. Watakwambia, guys, sasa unaacha hiyo kazi kule nini? Guys, sasa unatoka kwa hiyo marriage, nani atakuoa tena? Guys, sijui nini. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for yourself. You love yourself. That is why you're making this decision. And just like I have said, to be strong, you have to make that decision. It's not ati ukikuwa afraid nukumaanisha you're a weak person. Apana, in fact, you're strong because you've decided to make this decision. Wachana na watu wataongea tu. In fact, some of them ndio wanafurahia. Wakisikia ukifanya kitu, hata they look forward to your being firing. Look, for example, ile kesi ilikuwa ina trend ya Monene, for example. Watu walikuwa wanasema kwa drunk nene. Actually, people looked forward to that Friday program. Waone kama alifutwa kazi. People are just people. Hata friends wake labda wampigi kumuliza, are you okay? Why are you doing this or not? Unajua, but just make that decision. People will talk. People will look forward to your downfall. People will look forward to you being firing. Wengine watakumbusha boss. Kai boss, kwani bado hujafuta ule mjamaa? Unajua? So you're doing these things for yourself. You're making that decision for you and you alone. You're leaving those friends for you. You're leaving that job because you're not comfortable, you're not happy, for you. You are making this tough decision, confronting these people wenye wanakuwa kiku bring down, confronting these toxic people. Unajua, you're doing it for you. So just overcome your fears. It is a step at a time. And ukivuka this other side, utaona by the way there is more to life than even your thoughts. Na sijasema muache kufanya kazi vizuri. Hata ukiacha hiyo kazi unaiacha tu na heshima. But just overcome your fear. You feel like there's something new that you want to try come next year? Ebu try that. Just try to overcome your fear. Kuna kitu nataka kuacha next year? Ebu take that bold step. Ebu overcome that fear. Na uone by the way ukiacha si ati your life will come to an end. Watu wataongea tu for a season, alafu maisha itarudi ikiwa normal venye tu ilikuwa, and you'll be at a better place, at a happier place. Okay? Face your fears. Make that uncomfortable decision. Go to those uncomfortable places. Do whatever makes you happy. Unajua, don't depend on people's opinions. Do you. Make yourself happy. Whatever gives you happiness, whatever gives you peace, do that. Overcome that fear in 2025. Okay? Ni Life with Abby. Goodbye.